Hi guys, it's Samantha Goodheart with thesamantics.com and thesamantics.etsy.com. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make the Iron Fist symbol from Marvel Comics. Now first you're going to need a skein of yarn. Obviously you won't need a full one. You're going to need a pair of scissors and a crochet hook. I'm using the 5mm, but just like many of my other tutorials, it doesn't really matter what size you use, it just depends on how big or small you want it. Now just a couple of things before we begin. First, this is the first symbol that I've made with this tutorial, so I may actually be changing some things along the way just to make it look a little bit better. And second, this tutorial uses the single crochet foundation chain stitch quite a bit, but if you don't know how to do that, don't worry because I'm going to show you right now. So first, you're going to create your slip knot. And then you're going to chain 2 times. Now in that first chain, insert the hook, pull the yarn through, yarn over, pull it through the first one, yarn over, and then pull it through both loops. So now you've just made your first chain on the left hand side and your first single crochet stitch on the right. Now to continue, you're going to insert the hook into that chain that you just made and make sure you get it through both loops. Pull the yarn through, yarn over, pull it through 1 loop, yarn over, and pull it through 2 loops. So now that's 2. So now you're going to do this for a total of 20 stitches. Okay, now once you've finished that, insert the hook into the second to last chain that you made, and we're going to do 7 more of those single crochet foundation chain stitches. So from that first one that you just made, insert the hook into that chain, and then we're going to continue for 6 more. Okay, now once you finish that, insert the hook into the second to last chain, and then do 2 more. Okay, now without detaching the yarn, count up 12 chains from the slip knot. And now if you see here, your chain row should be on the right side, and what you're going to do is insert the hook into that chain to make another single crochet foundation chain stitch on top of it. And when you've done that, you're going to count up 12 of these single crochet stitches and then insert the hook. And then you're going to make one more. And it should look something like this. So once again, it should be over what you already did. And now what you're going to do is from there create 26 single crochet foundation chain stitches. Okay, so when you've finished that, it should look something like this. And you see how it curves here. So what you're going to do is turn it, and then in the last single crochet stitch that you just made, we're going to make another single crochet foundation chain stitch. So once again, that's in the stitch, not the chain that you made. So now we're going to do a total of 8 single crochet foundation chain stitches. Now you can work back in the chains after you've done the initial one. Okay, now when you've finished that, that was just to turn it. Okay, so now that you've finished that, the next thing that you want to do is insert the hook into the second to last chain again, and we're going to make 10 single crochet foundation chain stitches. Now when you've finished that, you're going to chain once and turn it over so that you're on the single crochet stitch side. Now in the first 2 stitches, create 1 slip stitch for each. And then in the next 3, you're going to single crochet. And in the following one, we're going to treble crochet. If you don't know how to do that, you yarn over twice, insert the hook, pull it through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through the next 2 loops, yarn over, and pull through the last 2 loops. And then after that, in the next stitch, we're going to double crochet. So you yarn over, insert the hook, pull that through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 more loops. Now in this same space, you're going to create another single crochet foundation chain stitch. So insert, pull through, yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2. And then in the chain that you made, make another one. Now once you've done that, you're going to create a slip stitch in that chain that you just made, create another slip stitch in the following one, and then in that gap right here, you're going to create another slip stitch. And that will give you the head of the dragon. So now you're going to skip the next one and then create slip stitches in the next 11 stitches. Okay, now you're going to skip the next one, and then you're going to create slip stitches in the next 4 stitches. And then once you've done that, you're going to single crochet in the next 13 stitches. Okay, now when you've finished that, you're going to create slip stitches in the remaining stitches until the ring. Okay, now just to help you out a bit, I'm going to show this to you on here. So here is how it should look. Now we've switched sides. So this chain is still on the right side. But now what you're going to do is attach this to this ring. Okay? So this chain right here in the ring, just create another slip stitch. And it'll look like that. So now, once you flatten it out, it'll look like this. So what you're going to do now is continue along the rim of this ring. You're going to make 7 slip stitches. And then at the bottom here, you're going to make 1 single crochet stitch. And then once again, 7 more slip stitches in the next ones. Okay, and when you've finished that, you can fasten off. And when you thread the yarn through, if for some reason this ring isn't where you want it to be, you can attach it a little bit better. If you can see what I mean in the video. So this is where we left off, and if you'd like, you can pull it through here a bit. And that'll make it more of a ring. So now just keep in mind when you're sewing this onto something, I'm actually going to move this. Just make sure that you match it to the actual symbol. So obviously this is a little bit flimsy, but in the symbol itself this is a bit raised and pointed. So that's how you would be sewing it onto your crochet project or whatever you're putting it on. So that's part 1. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope that you come back for the next one. And please, if you would be so kind, subscribe to my YouTube page, which is Sam's Antics. You can click the button in this video or go to my homepage and also support Sam's Antics. And that would be very helpful because then I can make more cool stuff with yarn and other things. Please also like and follow me on Facebook, Google+, Instagram, Pinterest, and Twitter. If you have any questions about this or anything else, you can always email me at samgoodheart@gmail.com or message me on any of my social media pages. If you're in the New York area, you can visit my friend's comic book store, Comic Book Jones, at 2220 Forest Avenue in Staten Island, New York. Their website is comicbookjones.com. Their YouTube is WCBJ Podcast, which they do on Wednesdays. Their Facebook page is facebook.com/comicbookjones, and their Twitter is @comicbookjones. You can also check out another podcast located in New York called The Slant Show. You can listen to their podcast on iTunes or visit theslant.libsyn.com. Their Facebook is facebook.com/slantshow, and their Twitter is @slantshow. So thanks again for watching. I do hope that you come back for the next one and many more. And until next time, take care.